didn't you have a car accident or something? What's going on? Tell us what's happening.
Well, we were at a stoplight, and as we entered, we were the second car to enter into the intersection.
This is
And
your car and your car.
no, my husband's vehicle.
Uh-huh.
And tore us up. And he was tore up and we was tore up.
He hit you in the back?
Yeah, he hit us like as we continued to go across, he tailed in this, and then he spun us around 280. And it was, thank God the car didn't blow up because it was all on the side with the gasoline. But praise God, I'm a blessed woman because of God that I serve.
I know that's right.
So,
I know
you're looking good for all that going on.
Give Lolita some love here. I'm sorry to, I saw it. You know how I found out is on Facebook.
Yeah.
I don't. So I'm grateful for Facebook for that little piece of information. I'm glad you're all right, honey. That sounds horrifying.
It was a miracle.
Yeah,
his car, he didn't have any insurance, and he ran a red light. Black, poor child, little young guy. He might have had his mama's car because it's gone.
Oh man, that's terrible. So we're glad you're good. Tim, how are you doing?
I'm doing fine. I decided I got enough energy. I made my chili for myself. I don't have no one to share it with right now, but so I made it. I didn't cut myself cutting the onions or nothing.
I see. Well, you sound like you might be getting a little lonesome over there.
Oh yeah.
But hey, we'll come by and visit you, man. You make sure Wayne got the address, and we'll come by and check on you.
Okay.
And, we'll try your chili out, see if you got any skills.
I still got a couple servings in the refrigerator because I
put some up for a later day. Oh, sounds like you learned something from somebody there. You know what I mean? Hey, well, look, man, I came a little late. Couple little small things, and I'm sorry to be late to everybody here. I don't appreciate, it's my responsibility to be on time. I'm sorry. But I want to tell y'all something. This is some good news. Today or yesterday was Larry Harris's birthday.
Yeah, I got a picture of that. That was great.
Let's go ahead and sing the song. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday. Happy birthday. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday. Give him a big hand. Give Larry Harris a big hand. Yeah, see, now, you know what? Just because he came home from the penitentiary does not mean we can't sing happy birthday to him real loud. We're loving the birthday song now, and sometimes you'll have some birthdays when you're locked up and you be forgetting. My brother was saying, you be forgetting how old you are. Right? So the second verse is, how old are you? But Larry, we're going to let Larry say something to the group right now. Son, you got to put that phone down. Go ahead and say something to the group.
Well, it's just been a blessing, man, to be here all these years. But the thing about it, I planted a picnic 2 years ago now. And the therapist said, why are you so content to have a picnic? I said, because that's what I'm going to have. And I said it was Friday and the authority, and Saturday I did have it.
You had a
picnic 3
Listen to the soul man. Soul man, you didn't have no cornbread, did you? Wow. Lolita, I don't know if you're still there, but Larry have had some cornbread. Look, matter of fact, look at his face. He looked like he had some cornbread. Yeah. I'm excited for a couple of different reasons. One is just because y'all are here. Two is we got some information to share with you that could be very interesting, and I'm gonna get to it. But we got a guest tonight, John Doe. Give him a hand. John over here. Now, okay, John is referred to us by Roy Artis, who is a PO, and Roy is a good friend to us organizationally and to me personally. And so, occasionally over the years, Roy would have referred a guy to us who he would be thinking could be, connect to the pop, to the pop thing. And I don't let every PO do that, but I do let Roy do it. But so I want John to kind of just quickly introduce yourself, say a little bit about yourself. Everybody in here is from the penitentiary, so whatever. So go ahead. Hey, Will.
Found me a nice support group, you know what I'm saying? Hang out with, get to know some guys, you know what I'm saying?
John, are you home from the penitentiary?
No.
Okay, you ain't been.
No, I'm there.
You been?
I gave about 10 years.
You been about 10.
Yeah,
Okay. I'm just trying to figure out what Roy was thinking. You know what I mean?
No, just, I was really just been to the brother, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And he felt something.
Yeah, I'm a good brother, you know what I'm saying? We similar, go back, you know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Same addiction.
Gotcha.
You know what I'm saying? So we like, man, I might have a spot, I tell I was struggling. You know what I'm saying, to get to meetings, struggling, trying to find support. Right. You know what I'm saying? And he just suggested that it was just up to me.
Yeah. I appreciate it. Dude gave him a referral just on the strength that he followed through. Give him a hand for the follow through. Somebody say follow through.
Follow through.
Yeah, that's a big thing. Look who's here who's been gone 2 whole weeks and seemed like it'd been 2 months. That's Will. Give Will a hand. Will had messed around and hurt his foot and at work and that and all kind of other stuff. And so I'm so glad to see you, man. And I don't
Kelly's on.
Kelly. Herbert Kelly, you on the line?
Yes, I am. How you doing?
Herbert Kelly from Alabama is down. Give him a hand. Give him a hand for his coach. What is going on around here? Herbert, you doing all right?
Yeah, everything's all right. Good to hear from you. Knowing everything's still continuing with the good spirits there. I'm glad to hear that.
Thank you, brother. And give us a little report, a praise report on how you're doing down there. We know you're doing good, but tell us how good are you doing?
Well, just sitting around staying cool right now, eating a decent little meal and just enjoying a pop session right now and seeing what's new there.
Yeah. Right. We got a couple things that are new here. Herbert, man, it's so good to hear you. Herbert, y'all know, is one of our lifer sons, and and then when he came home, he just was over at Second Chance, and he just tore Second Chance up, and then got a transfer down south. That's where he's from, and so, hey man, we got love for you, but I'm gonna break off for a minute, but I come back to you. I want to share a few things with the group. All right.
All right.
Okay, Lolita, are you there? I need you to be there while I share this. A couple things. Just last week, a week ago, we got a small grant from the Minnesota Department of Health, MDH, Minnesota Department of Health. Let me tell you why. Um, what we did, this is important for John to know for back information. We've been here for years, but when COVID hit, right, we had to go virtual. That's why some of these guys are on virtual right now because the COVID had hit. And for a while, we was only meeting virtually, and we were doing well with that. I'm gonna tell you, man. Sometimes we had 40 people online. You know what I mean? And that's amazing. But watch this. Um, But Tierra and I recognize, and a few other of us was talking. See, there's some guys that just got to have group like this, and they're and it's me too. I get something from it too every week. So we were trying to figure out, well, how can we get back safely? All right, that was the question. Say the question. Okay, the
Question.
answer to that question was. Um, we decided to test everybody. everybody in POP. Now that's about 65 guys and females all together, right? And so of that 65, there's about a 45 member core group who's here 2 or 3 times a month. We have so I proposed it, but Thierry actualized it. Thierry found that testing site that we all been to in St. Paul, Model Cities, something, and they did the COVID-19 testers for all of us. And then my say your name again? David got tested somewhere. Okay, so listen to what I'm saying. So what we were trying to do is establish a negative baseline. Say a baseline.
Baseline.
Yeah, because now you
Baseline.
need a baseline so you can work out from that. Now, just like while we're here right now, you could be on. Holler at him, John. You could be uh, we got the temperature thing over here in the room. I haven't been using it. I probably should, but where you take people's temperatures, if they're over 103, you're supposed to deny them entrance. We haven't been doing that. Now, one of the reasons why is because I'm comfortable that we have a baseline. That relatively a short time ago, everybody in here was negative. Now, what's important about that is we got real good at it. And so the people over at the medical center got real close to Thierry. He was making all the connections. And so we kind of developed a model, say a model.
A model.
A
Right.
model.
No, we was developing no model, but we was just trying to get our guys and women tested. So, but what right after that, a grant came out asking how can you help do work around the COVID-19 piece and help get it into communities, get testing to communities that haven't been tested. We applied with the same model, saying this is what we can do, and saying further that we could do it with men and women, but mostly men who have come home from prison, right? Because of the dynamic of being, locked inside those small quarters, right? So what we did was we got that grant got funded. So it's the upfront parts of it are $30,000, and so we just sent in our work plan today, and so everybody who's a pop person is going to get some parts of that 30,000. I don't. I mean, it might be $100, but you're going to get something. So when something comes in here, right, organizationally, everybody who's a pop guy or woman, everybody is going to share in that some kind of way. You're going to get blessed in some kind of way, but what we got to do is figure out how to bless somebody else, because y'all been tested. And so one of the ways that we're going to do this, I'm excited about what I'm telling you, is that when we did the fundraiser for Girls Taking Action, that's my wife's side. We did it at MCN TV, right over here Northeast. MCN TV, they are hooked to cable TV, Facebook, YouTube, not Netflix, but Twitter. Twitter. Anyway, they connected to all of these different things. And so when we do something with them, we're going to do something with them on video, but then let it go out through all of these mediums. You get it? And so the first part of what we're going to do is we're going to have guys, it's going to be guys that just came home. Y'all on screen is talking about what it felt like to get tested. I'll give you an example of what I mean by this. Here go Isaac. Isaac been gone 38 years. When we asked Isaac, and some of y'all, just to be honest with you, some of y'all clown when we said we was gonna get tested. I ain't gonna say no name, but I'm just gonna look in your area. Some of y'all clown. But you know, after you did it, you felt relieved that you had gotten the test, especially when you got the results.
Right.
Now, watch this. Watch this. Now, Isaac, though, now you all know Isaac. He'll be, I'm going to tell it again when he comes. Watch Isaac. He can be difficult. We love him, love him, love him. He's difficult. But you know what? Isaac, he didn't hesitate. He said, okay, Pop, when should I be there? Now, you know, he's on ISR. You gotta make all kind of arrangements. He didn't say nothing but okay. I said, and then I waited for him to buck back. But he didn't buck back. You know why? Because after being gone for 38 years, you're not trying to let the virus take you out. I don't hear nobody at church. Right? So he said, you know, like so there's a clarity. Some people were seeking after the good life after having been through all of this, got in a bag of chips, and then here come the virus, and you know what you think, knock you out. Right? So I mean that just don't seem right. I can say more about that, but I'm just gonna leave it there. I'm just trying to make a point here. The point is we're gonna use that same model. Put that on video. Lazarus, we're gonna let Lazarus write something that's a COVID-19 type thing, right? That's COVID-19. Look, it's clean. Say clean. Clean. Say wait a minute. No, I like see that smile, Yano? I like that smile. Say clean. Clean. Oh, I like it. Clean piece. You know, you're gonna write something clean, right? Okay. Somebody say clean. Clean. Yeah, and you smile like that. Just you know, it's gotta be a clean piece, and then we're gonna have him, you know, hitting it, da 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 da, you trying to be bested, but da 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 da, you gotta be tested. Hey, something I don't know. You get it. So but all of this is gonna be on the television, on cable. Then also we're gonna be hitting these little Facebook feeds. Dr. Webb, we're gonna have you on there because see you came out on the medical parole. And see, then you came out because of the COVID. But now, yeah, you this and that. So you're gonna have a perspective. We're gonna all be there, and everybody's gonna get something for doing it. Now, we can do this for free. Say free. Free. Yeah, but it ain't gonna be free. Some 30,000. So you're gonna get something. You get it, and it's gonna be fun. We'll be having some fun, helping some people, and getting a couple dollars. Somebody say amen in this. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah. And so then we're gonna have the ladies, let the ladies do something, Maria and Lolita, let them do something, this and that, where y'all's doing the thing. But our goal is getting people to sign up to be tested. That's our job. We're getting testees, and then we're getting testees to testers. MDH is the tester. What we're trying to do is get testees. Is that clear enough? Yeah. Somebody say clean. Yeah. And you'll see, it's a way for us to kind of, get out our own model, but doing it in a way that's being helpful to other people. Jenny can hit something as a Liberian brother because see, it's hitting our Liberian brothers, our Somalian brothers and sisters, our Asian, but John Bank can hit the day. You could hit the. See what I'm saying? We got the pieces covered. We got to, so we're gonna be able to do something. Ooh, that's exciting! What I'm saying. What you want? You want to do something at your place? Yeah. All right. Say clean. Clean. All right, that's got to be clean. But anyway, and we'll do. I mean, so there's a lot of things for us to do in that, and there's some other pieces too. I won't try to tell it everything, but so like them halfway houses that people are switching out to, Damascus Way, 180, Portland House, Ashland House, da 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 da. They don't want to test you. See, because because they don't want to quarantine. They don't want to quarantine. They don't want to make the adjustment because they want to keep on getting that bed money. Yep. See, if they have to quarantine, that means they can't get the new people can't come in because somebody's hot. You can't bring nobody in because the place is hot. Oh, and see, watch this. I'm just showing you. This is where you will uncover the money is more important than the person for them. Yep. You see what I mean? Go ahead.
Pop, I got a question. Dougie,
Dougie.
Pop guys.
Yeah.
Dougie Fresh.
Yes, sir.
You know, the with us encouraging people to be tested in things, and we've all tested negative. Is it some? Wouldn't you think it'd be some sort of importance for us to continue to get tested?
Oh, sure. Oh yeah. So,
I mean, you know what I mean. Look at. I'll give you an example. The ball player that just the whole team got tested. They're all negative. He stopped and got some chicken wings. And they infected 8 of his players, and the whole team's done for the season.
No, it's a big thing. Yeah. I wasn't gonna save this for later.
Okay, sorry.
But let's just see, because this thing is going deep, right? This thing is going deep. So, you know, I since we all went and got tested, I've been tested again twice. You know, because I was in Houston. Houston is all full. So I went back. You know, this my wife and them was in Florida with my mother-in-law. They had to go back, all of them, and get tested. You get what I mean? Because because of what Doug was just saying. Here's the deal. This thing is serious, right? Now we can have some fun with it and be soulful about it. We can be clean, but this ain't no joke, right? And the struggle with, you see people up here on Coronaville sitting out,
Kick it.
waiting on it. You know what I mean? This is it's a new day. And then at the national level, federal level, the federal government has punted the ball, saying, "Hey, well, y'all deal with it." In the meantime, they sent troops into the communities where the virus is the worst.
Why?
So this is, it's a bad deal. I don't want to go over there too deep, but I just wanted to Doug's point. Doug was saying, "Pop, this thing is serious. Should we get tested again?" Yes.
Absolutely.
Yes, that's a short answer to that. You get it? And we're going to be able to do that as a result of what we're doing right here. You get it? We could slip 5 or 6 of our own right in there, this and that. They don't know we've been tested already because, whatever. So, but anyway, yes is your answer. But I just want to let everybody to know that it's going to happen fast. This is going to happen from this month, which is almost over, from this month until the end of September is the timeline. So what I'm talking about is going to happen quick. We're going to get in, try to hit hard. We're going to have guys going into some of these halfway houses. But first, I'm going to try to, at maybe a 50,000 foot level, try to talk to DOC and get permissions from there to go into these halfway houses and other places, community corrections, and make sure that we're straight. You get it? And you're gonna find out. Watch and see. You're gonna find out some of them halfway houses are gonna say they don't want to be tested. You get it? They want to keep getting money.
Mine did.
So there's that. Anybody got a quick question on that? Quick question on that. Let's move to the acts of faith. Do y'all have the acts of faith?
I was slipping.
And so Will, did you want to? Whoa, this is pretty deep here. Huh?
I'll read it now.
Okay. This one's a pretty deep one, but I mean they all been pretty deep. But I look, I guess that's what's up. Right? I'm gonna read this one. Each time we have sex, we must be innocent and open. So I failed that. I failed that. I wasn't innocent every time. I'm better now. Yeah, but I'm clean. That's what I'm saying. Glory to God. Sexual intercourse is an act of profound creation. It is the meshing and weaving together of the mother father force of the Creator. Whenever we hold in our hearts the mother and our mind the father during the sexual act, will be created in our lives. Wow. Sex in anger will create angry words and angry situations that must be resolved. If we are in denial about ourselves, who we are, or who our mate truly is in our life, then sex will create denial in the relationship. Oh my God. Somebody ought to say church in here. That was pretty heavy. I'm going to go back and read it again because I think y'all missed that. Watch this now. It says sex in self-sacrifice. Oh, no. It says if I am in denial about myself, who I am, or who my mate truly is in my life, then sex will create denial. Say denial.
Denial.
In the relationship. Mhm. That kind of means that, just in case, that means that then the relationship really, the sex piece is corrupt, and therefore the relationship in some ways is corrupt. But then we're operating in denial like it's not that way, but then secretly under the table it is that way, and there's no love there. Uh-oh. Sex and self-sacrifice will create a doormat. Whoever makes the sacrifice will be walked on. Somebody say church.
Church.
Sex in confusion creates chaos and more confusion about how and why we want sex in the first place. Boy. Unconscious sex, doing it just to be doing it, creates a violation in the subconscious mind. When I create children during misguided intercourse, the child brings to life the state of my being at the time of the sex act. I can heal and strengthen myself during my conscious sexual activity, but I must know what I am doing and why. Sexual intercourse is a creative expression in which I fully participate. Somebody say amen in this church.
Amen.
Boy, that's some deep stuff. Y'all scared to touch it, Tanya. I know you're scared. I know you're scared. But look, they're scared, Lolita. But look what I'm saying. But while you thinking about what you might want to say, watch this. That was so deep. I remember, I don't mind telling you this, when I was much younger, I was um, I was very sexually active as a youngster. And I didn't realize I had been triggered by some stuff, right? And I had some uh, an older woman was molesting me, right, as a young boy, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and I'm grateful that it was a female doing it because I could relate to, well, like when I'm in penitentiary, I could relate to guys who are molested by guys, and then they get sexually confused. I can relate to it. It's not me, but I can relate to it because I was molested, but it was just by a woman. So the sex part, in some ways, was the right thing, but the act itself was wrong, and that just set me off. I mean, later on in my early years, I had my first child. I was 16, and the moon was.
Oh, I didn't want to mute him. I can't hear now. My thing is all messed up. I Can't hear. Shoot. Can't hear Shane.
So, Lolita, you muted me, sweetheart.
I know.
It was too much.
No, it's just a phone.
That was too much for you. Just keep it clean. Just keep it clean. Anyway, what I'm saying to y'all is a lot of times, oh, wow, I see a way back. A lot of times, though, that early sex, that adolescent sex that we think it is cool at the time or for whatever reason, though, it leads us off into the lesson from the last few weeks about self-hate.
I,
Watch this. I was operating in self-hate though, because I wasn't in, I didn't have it straight. I was mixed up and stuff. You get what I mean? And then I was I was low down to other people and low down to my own self. Ooh, boy. That's one way to get in the back door. Say the back door.
Back door.
It's not the only way, but it's one way. Um, so I like what this is saying because it's got your tongue all tied up. Somebody else, any other week, you'd have your hand up. Well, I got you in a minute. You'd be throwing up your hand, but you don't want to throw up your hand because you don't want to reveal nothing. But hey, all we doing is having a grown-up conversation here. Go ahead, son.
Yeah, for me, Lazarus Walker, Pop Guy.
Pop guy.
So for me, I associated sex for the longest with status. And some people I still do. I used to feel as though if I wasn't having sexual intercourse with a woman, that I was looking. And for the most part, the relationships would be built on infatuation and just pure pleasure based. But what this piece is, what I feel is saying is that there's a deeper connection that is beyond just sexual intercourse. So where you're truly getting to know a person on an intimate level. When I was in treatment, they was talking about how human beings thrive off intimacy and connection, and
That's good.
that's what this seems to be.
That's good. Ooh, give him some love right there. Yeah, that was real good. That was real good. Okay. Go ahead, y'all, and then Chinny, and then all right.
Okay. So I can totally relate to what this is actually talking about. And so with myself, I started
okay, bye.
at the age of 16. At the age of 16, um, doing drugs and then having sex. And then behaviors, by creating a routine with those behaviors, other emotions came out with the anger and being ashamed and hiding and keeping secrets, not actually expressing myself in a healthy way.
Wow.
And it carried on into poor relationships where I became abusive to my partners.
Right.
And I held it hostage to where when they needed money or where they can go, what they can buy, what they can do, and all that started when I was young.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying?
Wow.
I'm blessed by actually expressing myself in a healthy way and reflecting on the things that I did in the past with the abuse, the emotional abuse, and the physical abuse, and the manipulation. Because my partners were drug addicts too.
Yeah, right.
And I was selling dope.
Right.
And I would manipulate them with drugs to have sex.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So all them behaviors, when I started at a young age, became a norm for me. And I believed that was normal, and it wasn't. It was unhealthy. until I can look back at that and realize that it's for Harry.
Give that boy some love right there. Wow. Boy, I gotta dap you up on that. That was good. Go ahead.
Tierra Caldwell, Pop Guy.
Pop Guy.
I use this term a lot. Anybody know me? Low hanging fruit. People ask me like, why you like low hanging fruit? What is low hanging fruit? Low hanging fruit is it's a relationship with something that's so easy. You know what I'm saying? That's just right there, right on the corner, right there for you. I call it like Kelly Bundy. Like I used to just like Kelly Bundy's. And what I mean by that is like all physical, nothing smart. You know what I'm saying? And why did I used to like Kelly Bundy's? Because I just wanted, I looked at a woman as an object, just for sex. And a lot of the time I would define like that status, you know, obviously if she got the bigger this or the, you know, whatever, that's how I would, you know, define. It's like I was in love with body parts and not the actual woman.
Right.
And every piece of low hanging fruit at one point in time in my life, I just grabbed and put it in the basket.
Wow.
But then, like, once I got locked up, I was forced to learn women from the intellectual aspect and learn everything but the physical.
Look at God.
And I realized the connections that I formed with these women were way more stronger than the physical connection that I ever had. And then that kind of tweaked my criteria because when I came home, now I don't get high no more. So obviously the woman I'm with, she can't get high no more either. I'm gonna be real. Even having sober sex was new to me. I never did it.
Wow.
I never did that in my life till I came home. I mean, not one time.
That's good, son.
And now, you know, it's just something about. But all of those women that I had that low hanging fruit was a reflection of how I thought of myself.
Yes.
Because I didn't think nothing of myself. So now that I think way more highly of myself, now I got a woman that's intelligent, that's a boss, that challenges me, that keep me up on my toes, and you know she's a reflection of me. And so,
let me grab him right there. That's good. Yeah, that boy's trying to get to his fiance right now. May the force be with you. I love that. I love this is going. This is good. I'm gonna squeeze a woman in, a woman's voice. Go ahead. That's you.
Oh, okay. I look around.
Lolita, you're next.
Well,
thanks.
Yeah, the sexual thing. I'm not really intimate with. I wasn't real intimate as a young woman and a woman and a young girl because I was trafficked into prostitution. That's what they call it now. But I was hooked
Right.
all my life,
Right.
and so men were. If I didn't see dollar signs, they didn't, appeal to me. Or if I didn't see somebody ready to wait for me to get the dollars so they could get my money, you know, and their relationships were just everything was about money. They want money from me, I want money from them. The tricks,
That's right.
So now I'm not looking. And I say I'm done with men. I'm not done with men. I'm just waiting for God to send me.
Oh, come on. Woo. Sis, that's my sister. She was being honest. I give her a hand. She's being so honest. Yeah. Lolita, what you got?
Sex is a tool. a powerful tool. I'm talking about something powerful.
Ah.
That's how I used it. Something powerful. As powerful as the woman that I am, because that's how powerful sex is. I remember first learning how powerful, or how loosely, I didn't know anything about it being powerful. I was just a young woman working in my first little job, and a gentleman came in, and he said, and someone came in, a booster, and she had a pretty dress, and the guy who was sitting there at the counter, he said, I said, oh, I like that dress. I said, oh, but I can't afford to buy it. And so then the gentleman stepped in. He said, do you want it? And I was like, yes. He said, okay, I'll buy it for you. I said, well, okay. He said, but you got to go with me tonight. I was
Mm.
like, oh, well, I knew what that meant. Go with you. Go with you?
Right.
Oh, okay. I did know him, y'all. He wasn't a stranger. I did know him.
Mm.
But just, is this what you go? Is this how this tool works?
Right.
Oh, I go with you. We were friends,
Right.
but I take the friendship further, and this tool use my body,
Mm.
and you'll give me what I want. I said, oh well, okay, that was
Mm.
easy enough. So
Yeah.
I thought, in my mind, that was easy enough. So I saw that my body, I used it as a tool
Mm.
at that time. Then is that was in, that tool was used in different seasons of life, in different aspects. And then maybe that was in my, maybe not even 20. Then as you go into 20s, then it went up a notch. You
Mm-hmm.
met the type of gentleman that I had encountered with, said, oh, I'm going to show you how to really use this tool. I'm going to
Right.
sharpen this tool that you have, and you're going to use it like this for the
Mm-hmm.
betterment. It really was for him, not of myself, for the
Yeah.
That's right.
betterment of me. That's
Mm.
how you're going to use this tool. And as you continue to manifest, then now, if you're in your 30s and 40s and not in that lifestyle, the sex was, I had to find that right person with that ooh wee.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all know about the ooh wee? Don't be sitting quiet.
Mm-hmm. That's right.
Y'all
That's
know about
right.
that
That's
ooh
right.
wee. So
Right.
you had to find that person with that ooh wee,
Right.
and that
Somebody say ooh wee.
Ooh
ooh
wee.
wee. The ooh we cultivated a relationship. Now,
Ah,
if
good.
they be good or bad or in between, you had to have
Hey,
that ooh we.
Got it. Got it. Got it.
Uh-huh.
That's good. That's good. That's
And
good.
as
Give
the
it some love
Lord
right
comes
there.
into your life, yeah.
You know what's that? I'm coming to you. What's this though? Uh, and sometimes, man, you know what? If I wouldn't have picked this subject, but it just the trust level in the room is high enough to have the discussion. And sometimes you have to have a discussion, you wasn't really ready for, but but it's still okay to have it. Ooh wee. Well, I like it. Chinny was next, and then you, Dex, and then you go. Okay, and okay, go ahead.
So
Thank you, Lolita. That was good.
I grew up here as a kid. So I grew up here most of my life. But I did, chin in Popeyes.
Chinny, all right.
Chili Popeyes.
But growing up here and having three, sorry, four independent, strong women in my life
Mm-hmm.
changed my perspective of how I see women when I was a kid. Because I follow my friends that I used to hang out with. We all hang out because we all foreign.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And being a young kid and being foreign, speak different language, and female tend to, women tend to follow towards those folks that looks different, dress different, act different, speaks different.
Wow.
So we to change those years as a kid, we decided our friends should be all foreign kids. So you have the African kid, you have the Mexican kid there,
Mm-hmm. you have the Spanish kid who is from Mexico, but from Spain and Afghanistan, Pakistan. So all my friends was like 6 or 7 of us from different countries, different continents.
Right.
And that whole group of friends went through high school together.
Yeah.
And we figured out there was the best way to do it. Because it was easy, but then I got checked. My sisters. My sisters found out. And how to get the top. I don't know if you guys ever been in a room with my sister and the baby. So the front door was locked. There was one sister at the front, one at the back, and then 2 in the middle. I mean, I cannot go anywhere.
Come, Dr. Harris in here.
Yes, sir.
Come on, Dr. Harris.
So did
Dr. Harris.
learned that in my relationship now, sometimes you want to have sex because, come on, we haven't had sex for like 3 years. What's going on?
Sure.
But then at the same time, as she gets older, where I'm at now, dating Bao for 6 years now, the sex part is not that important anymore because as older you get in a relationship, a very committed relationship, and strong, I'm learning that sex is not just because you want to have sex, you have sex. Bao is very smart, Bao is very independent, and Bao put her foot down. Is that I'm not gonna have sex because you want to have sex. I want to have sex because we both want to have sex, and I want it to be meaningful for me and for you, not just for you.
Wow.
So I'm learning that.
Woo!
Those deals,
Wait a minute, we need to give him a little hand on that. Because Mother said, make sure you take care of me too.
So you have to understand.
Y'all don't hear me in here.
It's about your partner making sure that each people is committed to doing what they're doing, not just because people want to wake up, so you have to wake up.
Right. Come on. Give my better hand than that. That was exciting. I love like hearing Chinny talk about, growing up, not being American, whatever that is, and then building these relationships with other brothers, from other countries. That was really interesting to me. So I appreciate you sharing that and adding that. You know what I mean? But also heard, he got a strong woman, and commands respect. They do some things together. I love that. Dex is next, and then Dr. Webb. Go ahead, Dex.
Dex, pop up.
Pop guy.
I'm with just talking about having sober sex.
Sober sex.
Yeah, that's like that was scary.
Oh, Donald.
To me, it was like, am I gonna be able to, yeah, weird. Like, am I gonna be good at it? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, right.
Good.
Yeah, right. Come on.
This is like scary. Like,
Yeah.
man, I'm from America.
Yeah, come on, doctor. Give him a hand. Give that brother a hand. That's good.
So yeah, but just thinking, I use it like one. It's a tool. And I found that tool is a weapon.
Yeah.
Power and control. I didn't care.
Yeah.
It's just like when I get a woman say she loves me, I got her.
Right.
I don't care about you. You love me. Give them that money.
Right.
Give me what you got.
Wow.
I didn't understand that it goes a two-way street.
Yes, sir.
My brain wasn't functioning at that level.
Right.
It was all about me. It was a selfish act. It was just something to feel good. I go through it for me to feel good. And I thought it was for me to feel good. Nobody else.
Right.
Okay. I got a man. You better go get yours.
Yeah. You're on your own.
So as going back, further down the road, learning that this is when I got hurt, got left and stuff like that. I didn't like that feeling.
Yeah.
But I didn't understand why that feeling was, and then I still being selfish, being me, still doing the same old things. But I know I had to change me if I wanted to not hurt nobody else. I was hurting people.
Yeah.
And I didn't see that.
Yeah.
I was hurting people. I thought it was okay. But when I learned that I was hurting people, then I was able to see that I don't want to feel the way I make let other people feel.
Wow. Was that before you met Pam or after?
Oh, I learned that my Pam, that was my queen.
Yeah. Just so you know, give Dexter some love right there. I, I want to share for those who don't know, Dexter's former wife, she got sick and passed. But as she was going through her transitions, um, Dexter was right with her 24/7, really, you know. And while she was suffering, really, the family wasn't really in the picture until she passed. And when she passed, her family came out of the woodwork mad at him when he had been taking care of her the whole time. Yeah. And you know what? Didn't nobody know that but me, because I'm right with him in the hospital, right? We'd be singing up there, carrying on. We had them nurses on it was going on in there. But it, I love hearing you share how you got to a new place and his comments about sober sex versus being blind and blasted and just going at it in kind of a way like you did. We all did that, you know what I mean? And I love that. Somebody is making too much noise. Somebody on the phone got a. Yeah, thank you. I appreciate that. Um, Monsage, you got it.
So what I have in common with everybody is saying is that the experience of being misguided, uneducated, or miseducated about sex
Mm-hmm.
in my home and growing up. Back to a piece that was in here when we were created or when we create children with whoever the partner is. I
Mm-hmm.
grew up. My dad was abusive to my mother physically, mentally, emotionally, etc. And out of that, I was created. And
Right.
so there's characteristics and traits that I carry with me, from the whole process of that creation. Geronimo was touching on it earlier when he was talking about the power and control dynamics of the finances, the time spent, etc. I grew up in that, and so I associated sex with those types of things. I have to be in control of what? Back to the misguided, the uneducated, or the miseducated. I don't know what I'm trying to be in control of. All I know is that I am not trying to be out of control. I want to control something out here because I don't know what control looks like inside for myself, to have control over myself. And so most of my up until, being educated and still working through that process, most of my sexual interactions were just that, out of, let's see, take any one of these, out of anger, out of denial for who I am, unconscious sex, whatever it might be. So, but there was nothing in my home that was ever taught. So back to, the uneducated or miseducated. Yeah. Nobody ever said this is how you were supposed to treat somebody in a relationship. Nobody ever said, this is the appropriate time to have sex, or this is what sex means. There was sex going on all around me. My parents, sometimes visible, sometimes not visible. When my sisters, my oldest brother, he was sexually active, as an early teen. My sisters were sexually active as even younger girls, just even coming into adolescence. It was something that was in the house. Wow, wow. But it was something that was never talked about. And so in my development, that's delayed for me to have the understanding of what sex really means, to have an understanding of what a truly healthy sexual relationship still means. And now at 38, so 39 next month, all right. I'm still navigating. It's still a process for me to understand what a sacrifice is in a relationship, to be intimate with somebody on a level that exceeds just sexual gratification for me, myself personally. Yeah. And so, with that, I surrender because I don't have it all together. I don't know what everything means, but I know that that's one of those pieces that has to come together for me when I put in the work and when I'm ready to face it. Oh, good. Really, really well said. And I think you really, boy, you touched on so much right there. Um, yeah, you touched on so much right there. If you didn't sign in, please sign in. Um, the
that those early childhood experiences, they have a way of carrying throughout our lives, and waking up, turning the lights on in those dark areas, you know, is revealing to us when we bring the thing that lays in our subconscious into our conscious. That's where you can fight it. You got a chance if you can wake it up and bring it into your conscious. As long as it remains in your subconscious, it's a temptation and a threat. Does that make sense? Boy, that was so good, man. Wow. Somebody else. Anybody else got something? Um,
Yeah,
Go ahead. Go ahead. Let's work.
Dr. Webb, Pop Guy.
Pop Guy.
Um, the one part in here it says sex and confusion creates chaos and more confusion about how and why I want sex. Unconscious sex, doing it just to be doing it, creates a violation of the subconscious mind. And I read this, and just this past week, many of you know I had been away for many years, and coming home, the first thing that I have recognized that wasn't a priority for me to have a sexual relationship, because there's so much that is going on with me that I didn't. That wasn't on the top of my priority list.
Wow.
And so my son and him and a few others, and I talked to Pop about this late one night. We were laughing about it. They said, I'm being mindful because we have women on board. They said, well, hey, Dad, you haven't, I'll just paraphrase here because we have women. You haven't gotten involved. That's not the word they use.
He said it wasn't entanglement.
And I said, the word that they use, if it's not dry, then it means that it's wet. So they use that word. And I asked them, what does that mean? And then they said it. And I said, no.
Right.
And so oftentimes in prison, not just in prison in the physical, but in the prison of the mind, I have in past times have had unhealthy relationships producing two sons that come out of unhealthy sexual unconscious sex.
Wow.
As a result, both of them now are in prison.
Right.
Raising them from a visit or a phone call.
Yes.
Now the role is reversed.
Boy, that's deep. That's deep.
So for me, coming home, that has not been my priority. What has been is that I want to continue to, it's like to have a track record of staying on track before I commit.
That's right.
Myself in that, because not only am I committing my body, but my mind, my soul, and my spirit to that.
Wow.
And that's where I'm at.
Give him some love. Give him some love. Wow. Wow. That was deep. That was really rich. That was really rich. And as you mature, there's some things that fall off of you. Listen at what I'm saying now. And in your 30s, you still, a buck. Even really in your very early 40s, you still, can be in that, that buck stage. But if you don't have an experience come over you from the outside to humble you, to break you, that's what I'm talking about. But maturation will break you on its own. Maturing will break you in its own way, so that you become more understanding of what you actually possess and what you want to be possessed by. Ooh. You get it? This is a deep thing. But I'm gonna call on Duval now because I know my son been up a long time. He been up all day, and he got a new job. Give us his second day on the job. And he's a big time truck driver now. You know, we're praying for him. Jesus bless him. Give him another hand. And so, Duval, what you got, and tell us a little bit about your job, and then include this other piece.
Oh man, the job it's nice. You know, I get to be back with them fresh.
There you go.
I mean, they treat me right, so you know, I just got my little badge and everything buzzing and building and all that stuff.
Wow.
Because I got locked out, I didn't know what I was doing. But I mean, it's appreciated. You know, taking things for granted. You know, so, and he ain't gonna let me, you know, leave him or forsake him. So he has something for me every time. So, and I get scared of that part right there alone. I'm like, wow, why is I'm still keep getting this blessing? You know what I'm saying? I had the brother pray for me the first day I was there. The sun came up, the light. It was beautiful though. So just getting that every morning by the brother, man. He been there. And like I said, all the pop guys been there. Would have been there, coming up there, see me. I ain't telling about I went to the hospital, 3-4 days in the hospital, all type of stuff that happened to me. But everything happened for a reason. Because I was finna go there. So some got over me. My sister came up there. Doug was kept coming and driving me crazy.
That's right.
I mean, just to be loved like that. You know, not even with my own family, you know? It's like,
wow.
So this is the big thing, right?
That's the big thing. That's it, right.
That's it. Your own family, you know, you got the people just say, hey, you know, I'm like, oh, what is that? And then talk to my casework every other week.
Your therapist?
My therapist, yeah, and talking to her, she getting stuff get off my chest and stuff like that, opening up. And she said the same thing. She said, man, I can't believe you went through this and not talked about it. I cannot talk about it when nobody won't listen. So it's been good though, you know. Far as with the sex thing.
Jesus help us now.
This man be on my back though. I did this again. I'm 40 years old, finna be 50 in a minute. And I got a kid, 7 years old. Beautiful son.
Beautiful son. Beautiful son. Get a boy a hand.
But you know what? How you say it, Pops? That boundaries. That boundaries big, man. Because brothers hit on the head like, no, somebody just hit right. No, you did. You said she got to want it, you got to want it, we got to both make it do the deal. It ain't about me.
Right.
And that's the scary part about the situation, you know. But I've been working on that thing.
You working on the thing?
It is hard.
It's hard.
I'm just, you know, we're gonna be real and then we're gonna be real.
Yeah.
Because you laid up in the bed with, you know. But it is again, you like, you don't have to do it all the time. But you know, it's just that way.
Give him a hand. All right. Well, you know, I'm gonna let Doug go. Go ahead, Doug.
I'm just gonna add. Yesterday, his first day at the job, you know, I talked last week to everybody that he was coming. You know, talked him up and met my brother and So I see him yesterday after my run. I get back and he comes up to me and says, "Fresh, them trucks were big." He comes up to me and says, "Fresh, them trucks are big." I gotta learn how to stay in my lane.
Yeah.
27-foot trucks.
Ooh. Give him a hand. He's checking on something new. Tia just reminded me of something. Remember all the interview, everybody in here that did an interview. So not who in here didn't do an interview so far. Since you didn't, this. Okay. So we got about 4 or 5 people in here. and have yet to do it. So if you have done it, this is for you. This is a release so that we can, we can use it. Now we're gonna be posting on our Facebook page, every other week or something like that, or every month. We're gonna be posting some of our interviews, right? Um, Monk says it's first. We're going to be posting some of them, and then and what it's really about is just your relationship to POP. What that has been like. You know what I mean? So if you haven't done your interview and you've been out for a while, then you talk to Tierra. He'll set you up. Larry, you did one, right? He'll set you up with a interview date or time. But if you've done your interview and you haven't signed this, please do. That just says, okay, and just send it around, Will. Now, while that is happening, we can do more than one thing at one time. We got a heavy subject on board. David, do you want any of this?
I would say that I probably have definitely unconscious. And I think a lot of times I think I just do it just to do it. Like you were saying, like I'm still. I wonder if a lot of us, especially if a lot of us did a lot of times, a lot of us probably went in young. I went in when I was 15.
Wow.
So I really don't know what a healthy relationship is, let alone to have a healthy sexual relationship,
Right.
And when I was growing up, my household, that wasn't stable. That was chaotic and everything.
Right.
So I think I come out and even my relationships with women, even from prison, was not exactly healthy because they might be
On something too.
without cussing type stuff, you know what I mean?
Right.
So with them and then us learning how to just accept and deal with things because they're not exactly our girls when we're locked up, right? But and then you come out to them. I think for a lot of us probably have a lot of unconscious just getting back in track with life. For mine,
Get a chair. Give him a hand for that. Well, I love that. Well, I love that. Now, I love what David was just sharing, and he was being real honest. It wasn't right at home from the get go, and some of us are in that boat too. The thing was on and popping right from the womb, so to speak. So it does take, and that plays a role. That played a role in how it went down with you. You know what I mean? And so even to entertain in your conscious mind, right? If that was your unconscious mind operating in your life over a period of years, it was your conscious mind that just shared it in a way that at least exposed and turned the light on it for you and everybody else. Does that make sense? Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that. None of that garbage don't never mean nothing. What's important is what other people are saying. Don't ever believe that all that stuff can get picked up any old time. Watch this. What David just got through sharing was so heavy. Somebody else may want to jump in. I want somebody else who didn't get a piece of this yet. Go ahead. Antonio got something.
Yeah, I want to echo too what Brother David was saying. I came in young.
How old were you?
I just turned 20, 2 months after my 20th birthday.
Is when you went in.
When I went in. But I was, still real immature because I had a live-in relationship even earlier than that. So me and my daughter's mom got together. She was 13, I was 15. Y'all ain't supposed to be. You ain't supposed to be in no relationship at that age.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
So, I was stunted relationship wise. In other words, real early on. So, healthy sex, healthy conversation, healthy emotion, healthy thinking. Took a while for me to develop. And even when I got those relationships on the inside with different women, they weren't healthy because it was a quid pro quo type of thing. You doing something for me, I'm doing something for you. I'm basically playing Dr. Phil in there and you're sending me some money, making sure my commissary straight, maybe coming to visit me.
Come on, tell the truth in here.
So it was manipulative.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
You know, and that equates to the sexual experience as well.
Right here.
You know, we just trying to please each other.
Yeah, yeah.
Not
Come
really
on, wait, right here.
build each other up
Uh-huh.
and instill, you know, that positive energy, because that sexual energy is real potent.
Yeah.
And we don't understand that. You know, this part of the philosophy I study, comedic philosophy teaches about that. But so, you know, I've become a lot more conscious about who I, you know, give my seed to and my sexual energy to. And like, I mean, it might surprise if people, but I didn't jump right out into,
Mm-hmm.
you know, it took it. I didn't.
Yeah.
I did.
Yeah.
You know.
Man, that's good. That's good. That brother was saying, man. And I really appreciate what this conversation tonight is. To me, is amazing. We had to be together for as many years as we're together to have this kind of conversation and be at peace about it. You know, what David shared, I really appreciated that. I believe that was the truth coming out of his mouth. And sometimes when you're faced with a question like this question here, it will force you to deal with some things that you really, you know, yeah, you could be lazy about it and just let it linger in nowheresville. Right. And then it comes out like a boogeyman, and you know, especially if you put a drink to it and you good. If you put a drink to it and some alcohol and you know some woody woo, you know, yeah, then it's you know you wow, right. Let me just tell you, why this is a good time to add this. You know, y'all know Travis Westgard. Yeah. You know Lil Trav. Lil Trav had come by here, picked us up, Will, in the party bus. He had bought a big bus, party bus. Lil Trav from Lino. You know, he was coming to group. We working construction, getting big money. His wife or girlfriend, beautiful girl. But you know that boy would get drunk, man, and put his hands on her, right? And ultimately, she ran off, and for self-defense purposes, he was lucky she didn't, you know, drop a dime on, you know. And she knew she could hurt him, but she chose not to. I'm saying this for a particular reason we'll get to in a minute. Watch this. Because every one of us in here that are in these relationships, your woman knows she could hurt you. If she wants to. If she wants to, she knows that she can push a particular button, and this is going to be at least uncomfortable for you, if not incarcerated. Oh, I don't hear nobody. And so to that degree, you have to be mindful of your behavior so that you are getting where you want to go without giving away the keys to the penitentiary. I don't hear nobody. And so to that degree, we even have to be more careful, Tim, than others. You get what I mean? Because there's a navigation piece. If you don't have somebody that you really trust because y'all been down the line. That's an old railroad term, down the line of life. You got to go down the line a little bit before you just talk about some trust stuff and just giving that over like it ain't nothing. Because look, oh girl, wait a minute, she came from the broken home. Right? She the one that been giving it up and trying to make it the best way she can. She more low down than you. She got a pistol and she will use it. I'm telling you now, some of these chicken wings that we got out here, they more low down than you will ever be. And you thought you was all of that. So now in the context of your selection piece, you got to be careful and mindful of really what you're doing and who you're doing it with.
That's right.
Y'all awfully quiet in here.
That's right. That's so right.
And so we had to be so careful here. And I can't tell you now, as you know, being in my role, pop, whatever, how many times your woman went behind you and called me and say, Pop, I gotta tell you, hey, I gotta tell you something, you know. This is so and so and so and so and so and so. And listen, and a lot of times right there, she's trying to be helpful. But look like to me, whenever I get the call, the next call is to the PO or to the police or something like that. Y'all too quiet in here. You're too quiet. And I'm saying to you, we got to be very, very careful here. And there's a way to win it. Say win. Win. Say I'm a winner. I'm a winner. Say winners always win. Winners always win. But losers never do. But losers never do. I just want to wait for you to think about what you just said. You know how Chris right here, get a chair. Chris right here been violated at least 7 times. I don't know. He could tell us the right number. Because he would not abandon the loser mentality. Chris been out longer now than he's ever been out, and he's getting ready to stay out. Because now look, Chris has moved from losing to winning. This is a conscious decision. Say conscious. Conscious. Look, the conscious decision is that you have decided to pick up your personal power. This is what your personal power says about you. I am valuable. I am lovable. I am powerful. And I'm also important. Now watch this. If you believe that, wait a minute, because it sounds so good, but if you can really believe it, well, then what that means is everybody that comes into your atmosphere, if she don't feel that way about you, then you got to move around. Say move around. Move around. Isaac said, run quickly. You know the song, I used to like this song. Must be 50 ways to leave your lover. Just get out the back, Joe. Listen to this one. Making new plans. You know, I'm just saying. Now, because in these areas of our lives, we have struggled. And some of us were born, as David indicated, I'm that, out of confusion and prostitution and all of that kind of stuff. I'm a product of it, right? And so I came right out of it. Anyway, somebody else go who haven't gone yet. Isaac. I seen him raise his hand. Go ahead.
No, I was slow in the second, but when I did, I was all in. And I was in a lot of unhealthy relationships because
excuse me, your brother Tommy.
Because my thing was all about money, hustling. And so I allowed my sexual being self to gravitate more to that than loving myself. I cared more about the female than I did myself. And because I did that, I allowed certain circumstances to be what they were, and they were all wrong. And when I got to the point to where I was like, you ain't doing that to me, I would buck and run. But then I would get right back into the same relationship again because I kept looking for the same type of female. And I didn't want a woman. I wanted what you call against the boot because that was the lifestyle I was living. So my female had to think like I did. or I wasn't happy. Now, you know, I met another young lady, and the reason why I didn't bother her was because she was living a normal life, and I didn't want to disrupt that. Not only that, it wasn't exciting to me, it was fun to me. So I wasn't ready for a square life. Um, Today we can talk about that. A lot of stuff that she didn't know about me, I'm sharing with her. She see it all now, but like I told her, I was living a double life. Didn't nobody know what I was doing in the hood. Their ideal, they didn't know. Today, when I look back at myself, I was like, my life was so far out of order. Only God could have showed me love, mercy, and grace to help me get from there to where I am now. That's right. You know, it's humbling because I know I faced death hundreds of times just in my car, you know, the way I drive. And today, for the first time in my life ever, I did the speed limit. The reason why I did the speed limit is because it ain't just all about me. I have other people in my life that care about me. So I gotta put myself out hard.
That's right.
Wow. This boy did the spilling. I don't completely believe it, but I'm pulling for him. I'm pulling for him. Give him another hand. Go ahead, Doc.
No, I just wanted to say that this conversation is profound, it's deep in a lot of ways. But I wanted to say to you, Ivy, specifically, why do you think that Pop, other Pop brothers talk to you about domestic relationships? Why do you think that?
I don't know, 'cause I ain't never had one.
Well, I'm just saying. Talk about that in a minute. It's not really so much on a sexual level. The question. It's on a level of why do you think they do it? Why do you think it makes you uncomfortable? I'm one of your best friends. I love you like you're my brother. So it makes me uncomfortable. And why do you think that is so? I mean, just
because I could go there.
But be specific. Be clear here. Be clear.
Me myself.
Use the proper language. Be clear. Be transparent, and be honest.
Me myself. When I get upset with a female, I'm out of here. I don't entertain the thought of going there. It's like the situation I'm dealing with now with the car. It's like, you had it. It don't mean nothing to me because I can get tentative if I want. I get anything I
That's
want.
good. Just so everybody know, he talking about baby. Say baby. Yeah, baby. He talking about baby. Who baby was was baby, but now baby took his car.
Right.
That's what he's talking about. I just want y'all to know. Go ahead.
So instead of wrestling and dealing with that, stressing with that, had that. I don't move on. Got something 1,000 times anyway, so it was a blessing in disguise because it could have got deeper.
Well, here, let me.
That was good.
That was good. It was. But here, let me say this specifically and clearly. I asked you that question because we always talk about in this community domestic relationships are the number one cause of us returning to the penitentiary. Right. They pull our emotional strings, our purse strings, financial and otherwise. Now, ain't nobody in this room immune to this. Right? That's why I'm letting you saying this here. I myself experiencing things. But here's the one thing you have to know. If I was to choose to revert back to who I was once upon a time, and I keep changing and switching these ladies, on a rotating basis, or I'm fascinated with the attention and the stuff that they do or show me, I'm back to my old self again. I'm back to my old cycles again. I'm back to doing the things that I used to do. And
And they ain't gonna be long before I'm back slipping in the darkness, and I'm back in the incarcerated. Wow. Because it really ain't so much about them as it is about me, right? Because there's something I'm trying to fulfill, whether it's sexual, you know what I mean, whether it's personal, self-worth, self-esteem, or whatever it is that I'm trying to fulfill through the use of these women, right? They have their agenda as well. Yeah. So I'm not the only one acting this way. Yeah. But I brought that up to say to you that all the years we was incarcerated, our minds told us we was going to do a certain thing when we got out. I knew for sure when I got out here, there were certain things I was going to do. We talk about, well, what are you going to do when you get out? You know? And people casually say, well, I don't know, I'll do this, I'll do that. There's a patent answer to it that they give us, right? There's also some people that really never took the time to actually think it out, you know, not too far, you know, because they're going to halfway house, et cetera, et cetera. But to really look at it and say in your mind, you know, I want to live like this, I want to be like that, right? We're spared for a reason, right? And once we start being unevenly yoked, we talked about that in this room too, right? Unevenly yoked, you know what I mean? One up here, one down here, right? You just said something that was really important earlier. You said I had two personalities. You know, you're not together. You're not coherent. You're not together. You're not hooked up right. Everything's not consistent. And we talked about that. These things can get me where I'm off balance, where I'm not true. I'm not the same person all the time. You know what I mean? And I want to be focused. I want to be focused. I want to feel like I'm stable, I'm anchored, and I'm going to be here. But if I get to messing with all these women, they get to messing with me. I can't be that way. I can't feel that way. And you know what? It's like drugs. I go back feeling like I once did when I last got high.
That's good.
And that's the reason I said that to you, because I want you to really seriously sit down and think about it. Because see you on the road that you don't know.
That's good. Give my hand right there. Donald, that was good, really, and good for all of us to hear. Both these guys have done a really long time, and so you know when you get an opportunity at a second chance, I think the question I hear is, what are you gonna do with your shot?
Right.
Yeah. Say it, Doc.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, that always comes up.
Right? We had a saying in class that said, I am not gonna miss my shot.
Not gonna miss my shot.
I want you to say that with me. I am not gonna miss my shot.
I'm not gonna miss my
Say it again.
shot.
I am
I'm
not
not
gonna miss
gonna
my
miss
shot.
my
My
shot.
shot.
I am not gonna miss
Not
my
gonna miss my
That's
shot.
how powerful that shot is. That's a shot. And see, that's what I think I was hearing there. You know, how are you gonna protect yourself so you don't miss your shot? Right? Now you don't have to respond to that, but if you want to, you can take it. Otherwise, it's rhetorical and it's out here for everybody, because everybody, regardless of how much time you did or didn't do, you still got a shot.
That's right.
Right? And that's why we're here in some ways, to sharpen ourselves up so that we don't miss our shot. Yeah, yeah. And I think I like what I'm talking to you personally now. I like for you to give yourself more time. Give Isaac. Isaac is number one. Isaac is number two. Isaac is number three. Right. And so if you could give Isaac a little more time, developing Isaac, considering Isaac, positioning Isaac, I think that's more important to the shot than is, 3, 4, or 5 chicken wings. That term is an incorrect term. Ladies or females, this and that. You know, now at the same time, I didn't do 38. So there's a part of it I can't. You get what I mean? I can't interpret for him, for anybody else in this room, but the part that I can interpret is the part I'm speaking to. And that's the part that says, I don't want you to miss your
Shut.
Go ahead, Doug.
Dougie Fresh. Okay.
Drop down.
I just want to go back to Isaac last year when we were talking about holding his hand, his hand of cards that he had.
Oh yeah.
And remember, you were talking about getting a place and having to move here and doing all that and stuff. And Pops couldn't emphasize much more. You're playing the wrong hand. You know, the most important hand that you got is your freedom and taking care of Isaac. And it's just like burned into my skull of that's the thing that you got to take care of Isaac before you worry about anybody else. I mean, I can relate to that myself. I don't want there's none I want more than a relationship with myself. But I'm almost scared to go into one right now because I'm not ready. I know I'm not ready. I'm still, striving for my spot. Things are going well for me, but it's the hand that we're dealt, and it's the hand that we're holding holds our own futures.
Ooh, that's good, Doug. Give Doug some love right there. You know what I like about what Doug said? That conversation he just brought up, that was about a year ago, a long year, not just a year. And Isaac was living over with, what was the name of that place? Huh? No, he was in VOA. He was in VOA at that time.
He was talking about this.
Yes, he was. He was in VOA at that time. And then he went from VOA to the place. Right. And then from them to us.
So what I think that really, I can relate to is that
that was good.
The feeling long before prison of always feeling like I needed somebody there. Feeling independent. Of course I can do this, I can do that, but just growing up with the feeling of not being nurtured, that feeling of not being recognized or acknowledged by anybody. It was always like, whenever I get somebody, I'm gonna make sure that they're in my life. And how was that? Through various different ways. Then the prison experience, I only did a little over 3 years, nothing compared to the 38. But it was the loneliest time that I ever did in my life. You know what I mean? Even though I was active in different things, there was that piece that was still missing. And so, and when I got out, I tried to compensate for that, for that lonely feeling.
Right.
And I made some mistakes along the way.
Wow.
And one thing you told me, Pops, was you have to let your heart come in line and balance with your mind, and it has to balance with your body, and it has to come together all like this before you can do all like that.
Right.
And I didn't understand that. And there's still things I still relate to that conversation to this day because there's still things that I'm discovering and understanding.
Right.
And I didn't give myself enough time, at all. Even sometimes now, maybe I still haven't given myself enough time. I'm still in a relationship. I'm still trying to make it work, etc. But that's the feeling I could never escape is wanting to have somebody because that subconscious feeling of never having anybody, even in a house full of people. You know what I mean? And it exists, and it's deep into the mental, the consciousness, and the subconscious.
Right. Now he was talking about even in his own childhood and not really being loved. Listen, or parented,
Unchurched.
uneducated at that time, and unchurched.
That's right.
These have a residual impact on your timeline, right? On TV, how they get all of a sudden go back to the past, and you know what I mean. And all of a sudden, you see something back in the past, and then so if you could just go back in the past, and look at that family and look at and see the interactions, and you can look right at there objectively and see the pieces you were missing, and then those are the pieces that you have to share with your sons, and help them know that what you want to make sure is that they don't miss the pieces, and as you're giving them the pieces, what you won't realize is that it's filling up your vent as well. As you pour an oil in this container, another container's pouring oil in you. You see what I mean? And so that piece is so deep, and I appreciate you sharing it. And this is why, in some ways, I'll come right to you. The relationship you're in currently, unless you're your healthy self, can then turn around and turn into voodoo on you, witchcraft, and and you be a phone call away. This person, I'm telling you right now, has understands your PO. They know y'all ain't not quiet about who your PO is. You fuss about your PO. You say his or her name all the time. That your female, she knows who he is. So be mindful in that relationship that that person is got to be in it for the good of yourself and vice versa. Because these things in our situation, this thing can turn around and be ugly real fast. Is that right or wrong?
That's right.
John, you've been with us a while. I just want you to catch on. Anything you want to share?
I'm not shy at all, trust me. You know what I'm saying? I'm just, observing. You know what I'm saying? Taking things out, look out what I'm seeing, you know what I'm saying? I would love to be a part of this. You know what I'm saying? If y'all do have some positive things to me. So I appreciate y'all for that. Like I said, I'm not shy, man. Y'all get to know me. You know what I mean? I got a lot to say. You know what I'm saying? I have a lot of, you know, a lot of people, you know what I'm saying? So I'm just gonna observe. Okay. Another week. I'm gonna be like, John, shut up, man.
Right. All right, but that's good. Give a little hand up for that. Chris Burke, what you got?
My name is Chris Popgod. This conversation has really hit me the most because I got out September 10th, 2014, and it took me 4 years to switch over from being dependent and being in a relationship and feeling good about myself and having someone to being independent and working on myself. And working on myself has got me way more gratification, responsibility, and my soul is way better now than it has ever been since I've gotten out this last time. And I don't know how many positive opportunities I've gotten this time around, especially having a great job in the field that I love, to making the first big step to be around my son. And the opportunities just keep on coming.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah.
Give Chris some love right there.
Let me say something real quick for you.
Okay. Good.
Go ahead. I want to say this to you, Chris. We talk about you not because of the violations. I was once say we had a bunch of them too, right? But the things that you just mentioned, the transformation that you made a conscious choice. I don't know. I sat here and I watched you and I observed you. It seemed like a light went on, when that switch got hit, and you said to yourself, never again, no more. I have enough, right? And watching that, wow, you know what I mean? Watching that transformation, watching you, the way that you conducted yourself after that point. Yeah, there was bumps in the road. You know what I mean? There was times when you thought you couldn't make it, but everything that you were coming your way right now was always there for you all along. You basically are catching up to where you're supposed to be, right? And because I'm gonna tell you, our creator know already about these things, right? But you are strong enough to catch up. You know what I mean? And to see that, that's something for everybody in this room to look. I take that with me.
That's true.
I mess with you. I call you, don't I? I call you and I talk to you because what you have done, it's courageous. It's courageous and it's inspiring.
Yeah, it is. Give some love. That's good. Sis, what you got? And then I'm calling on you, Tim, and then Mrs. Dr. Kimbrough is right there. Dr. Kimbrough, you all right? Can't hear Dr. Kimbrough. Go ahead.
Yes, I'm all right.
Okay, we're gonna come right to you in a second. Go ahead, sis.
So, I've been in the penitentiary 4 times. And last time I did almost 3 years. But it hit me like a ton of bricks because I was the oldest person in the penitentiary.
Wow.
And I'm the oldest person at the house I'm living at right now. You know? But say that
Which says what?
We'll say that to say this. I'm a caretaker by heart. I take care of people, especially my man. And anytime I get a good man, I want to shower them and make them and bling them and ride them. And, I want to do all that for them because that's how I was raised. But any good man, that runs them away. They get scared.
Yeah.
So I decided, which I'm not trying to be in a relationship at all, because I'm not together myself. I'm working hard to come together. But a man is not going to do nothing. I don't care who he is, unless he's Jesus. Ain't going to do nothing but take my mind off of what I need to do because I'm not getting no younger. You know what I'm saying? If I get a man, it'll be in the future, way in the future, because I still ain't to the place where I need to be in order to be a good woman for a man that's worth it.
Yeah. Somebody in here say by and by. When I was young, that was an old gospel song. It said, we will understand it better by and by. Oh, by and by, when the morning comes. No, all right. All the saints have joined together home. We will share the story, how we overcome, and we'll understand it better. Whoa, wait a minute. I'm just see all y'all on Zoom land. I just want you to know what we could be doing. We could be having some church up in here. Yeah. Dr. Kimbrough was sick. He was sick. He wasn't feeling good. But all of a sudden, when that church hit him, a big smile came over his face. He's all right now. He can see the sun now. Somehow he gonna pay that telephone bill. Give him a big hand, everybody. Glory to God up in this joint. Okay, and so we're going to you, Dr. Kimbrough. What you got?
Well, I like what Chris has done and Geronimo, and I believe that they don't know their leaders, and they may know, but that's what they truly are. Because when you come from a spot to where it was hopelessness, and of course you being the leader and giving everybody a chance, but when you come from a spot to hopelessness and persevere, and I just have to admire that. I'm trying to model after those two guys, and I think it's about time for me to get on my knees and pray.
Wow.
Because the devil's been trying to get me. He's been trying to stop me. Wow. Everything I do, it seems to be a roadblock. But I do know that I believe in the Lord, and whatever roadblock he puts in my way, I've got to jump over the hurdle. And it must be something that he's trying to stop me from doing, because if I get to that spot where I want to be, there's no turning back.
Yes, sir.
And I really believe that he's trying to do everything in his power to stop me from doing whatever it is I need to do. But I model after Chris, I model after Geronimo, and people that has crossed over to do something and be somebody. So I pay close attention to everybody that's prosperous, so I can do the same.
Wow. Well, that's good, man. Give Doctor something right there. Kimbrough, that was good. That was a good observation, man. I'm glad to hear you say that, and we're pulling for you, man. You can do it too, right? And you may have to take small steps in the, but today is a new day to start all over again. put some things behind you. I don't know what it is, but there's some things you got to put under your feet. You know what they are. I don't know.
You right.
But Tim, you've been sitting there, you've been watching, you've been listening, you've been.
Oh yeah, and I got it on I got the Acts of Faith on my phone.
You got the Acts of Faith on your phone. You're all technologically savvy. Come on, boy, it's your turn now. What you got?
Okay, the first line really is something that speaks to me. Each time we have sex, we must be innocent and open. And as long as if you're doing it and you don't have any problems with any hiding it, and you have when it's that kind of sex, it's beautiful. I had that at first with my wife, and that was beautiful. It was innocent and open, and it was just beautiful. There was nothing to hide, no denial later on, no chaos. But the thing is that it also talks about we need to know who who we are and who our soulmate is. And I lost track of really who my wife was.
Wow.
And I lost track of that. I lost track of the sexual. But then I started having section confusion, and it brought chaos.
Right.
Chaos. And I did that it wasn't innocent and open anymore. And when it wasn't innocent and open, it was chaotic. It created a bad situation, and that ultimately, the chaos pervaded and destroyed my family.
Wow.
And so therefore,
stop right there for a second. Give him a hand right there, because that was a lot. That was a lot. That was a lot for you to get out right there. Okay, go ahead. Keep going.
Well, right now I'm in a place where, I have to, it takes a while to recover from a chaotic situation. And so you don't just get back into. I've learned a lot, and one thing is that I've always learned that we need to be in control of our sexual experience, not our sexual experience be in control of us.
Wow, that's good.
And I'm finding that control in a real good way. And I know in time I'll maybe get another relationship.
Right.
And in that time, I will definitely learn from my past mistakes and not let chaos get into my life, and understand that it can be a beautiful thing, and it was a beautiful thing. I remember the beauty of it, and so I always have that in my memory, so we can do it again.
Yes, sir. Well, hold up right there. Give Tim a big hand. Hold him up right there. I had to stop you because I think you're getting ready to get your preach on right there, but you did good. I'm proud of you. Will, you got something?
Oh, Will. Okay.
Hold on now.
Well, I've just been kind of listening and reflecting on everything I've been hearing. Right. But I would say this. So I'm I'm just gonna talk about my life now, my post life now, and my relationship with my woman, Kikia. I noticed that the deeper our intimacy goes, you know, um, the more loving environment it creates for Samari. I noticed that, it's because
that's the daughters.
Yeah, because I feel we become more and more open to each other, and I think this spirit encapsulates Samari, and she's able to come to me and talk about anything. You know what I'm saying? And when I was growing up, when I was growing up, I started sex very, very, very young. I'm talking about, you know, 7, 8, you know, 9. I mean, now when I reflect on it, man, I know how terrible it was. But at the time, you know, I really didn't know. You know what I'm saying? I didn't know. You know what I'm saying? And but what I learned is that because my mother was a hustler and was in the streets, because I didn't have her around me, having starting having sex early was my way of feeling love. You know what I'm saying? And you know, of course, that was the wrong way to go about it. And you know, when I went about it like that, it ended up defining my identity. You know
Yes,
what I'm
sir.
saying?
Yes, sir.
Because I'm already
Right.
struggling,
Right.
right, trying to find out who I am,
Mm-hmm.
right? And there's no one there really to help me with that. And then here I am having sex at this early age. You know what I'm saying? So it really only added to the confusion. You know what I mean? And so, um, you know, this here got me to a lot of trouble. You know, being very promiscuous. You know, having a lot of looking because I'm looking for this love. You know, I didn't have much of a filter as far as turning down anything. You know what I'm saying? And so I'm catching diseases and at an early age and all kind of crazy stuff. You know what I'm saying? There's all kind of crazy stuff. You know,
My Lord.
and you know, it took now for some of you guys said, you know what, I'm not ready for a woman. But with me, it wasn't. It took women. It took my relationships to expose my inadequacies and insecurities that I had about myself. You see what I'm saying? This stuff I couldn't deal with this stuff without a woman relationship that would bring this stuff out. You know what I'm saying? And so I'm just just thankful and blessed that I've gotten to a point that I've been able to reconcile some of the unresolved issues I had with my mother and my sexual relationships with women as a result of it has taken a different turn.
Well, that's good. That is good. Yeah. Really, man, that was powerful. This whole thing is powerful. I like what you said, and then I'm just gonna put this into your spirit. Um, the way you're going is so beautiful. One day you all should consider changing that girl's name to yours, because you the father. You're doing that work, and giving her a name that she can be proud of. It sets a standard for her, right there. And as long as you got these pieces of this other thing and this craziness, she will ask herself a crazy question. But if you can establish it, establish her name and line her life up to yours and what y'all are doing as a couple, it rebukes the dark side and causes her to come into agreement with her own reality about who she is. I'm just trying to tell you.
That's right.
Yeah. And up here, I'm gonna just tell you something, man. I'm gonna call on the two youngest members of the group now, because now y'all done listened, and I want to see if you learned anything, and then we're gonna get out of here. It's already 8 o'clock, but I want to give y'all a big hand, everybody, a big hand. And, I'm gonna tell you, man, nobody in town talking about nothing like this here. Nobody.
That's right.
Yeah. So look here. Everybody in here is gonna leave out of here just a little bit better than they came. Right?
Amen.
This is the idea about who we are, is that our iron sharpens other iron. right?
That's
So
right.
I'm gonna have last, and then Dr. Tyler Storm over here, huh? One second. I'm gonna let the young one say something real quick to see if you learned anything. Which one of y'all want to go first? All right, go ahead.
So I've been
I still
grateful
got you.
enough to have both my parents, even if he's not biological father, but he's always been there for me.
Yeah.
So I've been grateful enough to have him in my life. But I've always, because my father hasn't been in my life, my biological father, I've always had this anger, and I think he's always been after a lot of women, and I think some of that I took with me, growing up, and I've been sexually active at a very young age. I'm still young, but I've been sexually active with women, and I also looked at them as an object just to, have sex. But as I was growing up, my mom always told me this is how you raise a woman, and this is how you treat a woman. This is how you would want to be treated back. And someone came in my life, showed me how I have to be treated too, and I took that back because I was like, okay, this is this is not just anyone I'm having sex with. This is a soul tie we have,
Wow.
and it's something special too. And yes, I have a son. He's 4 years old, and me and the baby, we've been in toxic relationships and we've got to be on good terms. So my next relationship is trying to, just make sure that we're on the same page. Our goals should be on the same as mine. And it's not just about sex. I make that clear to any girl I'm with. Yes, it's easy to have sex, but it's not about sex to me. I need someone to be there for me, the ride or die. That's what I'm looking for.
Oh, he want that ride or die woman, boy. Give him a little hand. Well, it's good. I mean, it's good to hear you, and to have you. Your voice is important at this table, and amongst men and women, your voice is being counted. So, you're on a growth curve right now, and take in what some of these men and women have said, and allow that to help develop your thinking. All right.
Yes, sir.
Les, what did you learn? Anything tonight?
Yeah, I heard a few brothers speak about like issues at the house as far as the parents and what's concerned. I can relate to it. A lot of the things that I heard today was more like a relation piece. Like I can relate to. My mother was a prostitute. My dad was a trick. I grew up into that. So I always grew up seeing sex as a weapon, something used for power and control. And it got to the point to where I felt taken advantage of if I had sex with a paid. Or didn't get something out of it. I felt like using me. So, but what I'm realizing is that even that in itself is a devaluing of me because no monetary value should be able to assert my value as an individual.
Or hers.
Or her value. So, I still got a lot of work to go. I'm still at the same place. I'm still doing things. But I'm
Give him a hand. He doing his thing. He's doing his thing. But I mean, everybody in the doing, whatever, But I love what you said, and you getting out some of that old stuff, because at night, in the midnight hour, that old stuff is the stuff that haunts you.
Yes.
If you ever try to put chemicals on that old stuff, boy, it'll blow up in you like I'm telling you, like voodoo, right? But it's good for you to sit under this and be a part of this discussion. We didn't hear nothing from Dr. Harris. Dr. Harris, you done heard all what we've been talking about, but we're so glad to see you. Give Dr. Harris a big hand over there. Dr. Curtis Harris is in the house. What you got, Doc?
Well,
And then Chris is gonna close us out. Go ahead.
I had the first thing I knew about sex is written all over the wall. Pussy. That's the first whole letter. I mean, the first whole word I ever spelled. And I didn't know what it was, but it seemed to be popular. So a girl took me in she took me in the courtroom in school, you know, and she was a little more advanced than I was, and we experimented, and
it's been on ever since. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I couldn't resist that. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, you know, so intimacy, you know what I'm saying, with that, you know, I didn't know what that was. I didn't think it could be that, you know. Now, what was intimate, you know, like you got some Mary Jane and some nut chews, you know, we get the candy out the candy store, you know, she give me kisses, I give her candy, you know, and, you know, things in that type of sense. But I was way into my teen years. When I say this, my first when I lost my virginity, I was about 13, and nobody told me anything about it. I just kept hearing about all mass this, but when I actually experienced it at the point of climax, I jumped up and ran east, and she ran west. You know, like what was that? You know, but I come to find out that I had a lot of compassion. You know, because I would never treat. I had some friends that they didn't have too much regard for women, but me coming out of a house with 5 women, 4 sisters and a mother, I was pretty much done in with that. You know? So I just looked at them, you know, as family members. You know, but one thing that stayed consistent with me through my sexual growth is that wanted more. You know,
we just keep on one more.
Yeah, and I thought that was going to be the relationship. I mean, it was all over TV, man. Every time you see a scene, you know what I'm saying, the guy, he's making love to the girl, you know, swashbuckler, you know, gun, you know.
Yeah,
so,
right.
I mean, you know, I just thought that was automatic, you know what I'm saying, you know. I don't have to know your name. We got this attraction, you know.
Let's get it on.
Yeah.
Well, I gotta cut Dr. Harris off. Give him some love right there because it's getting late. It's really late. Chris, what you got? You just gotta be quick. Go ahead.
So I just got the official word from my old therapist that I passed my test this morning with flying colors.
Give him a hand. That's for him to be able to see his son. So that's a big thing. Come on, we're gonna pledge out of here real quick. And well, that was powerful, boy. Y'all just killing me, boy. Well, that's good. Slide that chair out of your way. Go on, move. Got to slide down here. Make sure we get everybody in. Get it 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 in.
Along with that position I'm applying for, I also apply for the board of directors at the Allotments Project.
Oh, okay. Now you know this is Montez is applying for a leadership role at. Honey, just put your arm. Get some love. Yeah. We got a Montez is applying for a leadership role at Bridging. And we created a letter of recommendation for him, and then you also got another role, maybe
Volunteer role for the board of directors at the Allotments Project.
That's beautiful, man. So you know, this is the leadership we're talking about. Let's pledge out on that note. I will. Balance values.
Balance my family values
With my goals.
with my goals.
My goals.
I will.
I will
I will
Exercise wisdom.
exercise wisdom.
What I choose to eat.
What I choose to
What I
eat,
choose to eat,
read,
read, and do.
I will.
I will
I
Make
will
all relationships.
strive to make all relationships
Win-win.
win-win,
No deal.
no deal.
no deal.
I will.
I will,
I
Under every
will,
circumstance.
under every
under
circumstance,
every circumstance,
Maintain a positive attitude.
maintain a positive
maintain a
attitude.
positive attitude.
I will.
I
I
will
Enjoy my life.
enjoy my
enjoy
life
my
With
life
humor.
with a sense of humor
While taking advantage of opportunities.
while taking
while taking
advantage of
advantage of opportunities
and learning from my misfortunes.
And learning from my misfortunes.
I will.
I will.
I will.
Upon circumstances.
Act upon circumstances.
Rather than have them act upon me.
Rather than have them act upon me.
I will.
I will.
On a daily basis.
On a daily basis.
Be proactive with my goals.
Be proactive with my goals.
I will.
I will.
Always protect my wisdom.
Always protect my wisdom.
My health.
My health.
My happiness.
My happiness.
I will.
I will.
Principle-centered.
Stay principle-centered.
Maintain a positive circle of influence.
Maintain a positive circle of influence.
I will.
I will.
Leave baby alone.
Leave baby alone.
I just threw that in there. I will.
I will.
Daily learn. Commit and do. I will. According to the POP Leadership Institute.
According to the POP Leadership Institute.
Be productive in my community.
Be productive in my community.
In my private life.
In my private life.
Give somebody a hug and help clean up in here.